Barry Cryer was a comedic legend who dedicated his life to spreading laughter. For over 60 years, he penned jokes for British comedy's biggest stars, like Morecambe and Wise. Even in his final moments, Cryer's quick wit shone through with one lasting chuckle. Join Factsverse as we celebrate the unforgettable Barry Cryer and his relentless ability to find humor in every moment, even in death. Barry's early life. Barry grew up in the working-class Leeds suburb of Chapeltown in the years following World War II. Comedy and performance ran in his blood from a young age. His mother Gertrude was an outgoing woman who loved to sing at social gatherings. Though his accountant father John passed away when Barry was only 5, he instilled a strong work ethic in his son during their short time together. Attending Leeds Grammar School, Cryer's cheeky personality emerged in the classroom and on the sports field. He relished opportunities to entertain classmates with silly voices, jokes, and amusing observations. As a teen, he joined the Leeds Transport Amateur Society, indulging his budding passion for performance. After graduating secondary school, he further pursued comedy at the University of Leeds. He participated enthusiastically in the lively campus revue scene, developing sketches and honing his abilities as an impromptu comedian. But academics fell by the wayside as Cryer became consumed with chasing laughs both on and off stage. He dropped out after 1 year of an English literature program. He set his sights on breaking into the entertainment industry. His local claim to fame was providing comedy for the Leeds City Varieties Theatre, which hosted the BBC's long-running music hall show, The Good Old Days. Though only 17, Cryer displayed maturity and talent beyond his years in tailoring jokes for the Varieties audience. In 1957, he took the bold step of venturing to London at age 22 to become a professional comedian. He arrived with little more than a deck of joke cards and the address for the Windmill Theatre scribbled in his notebook. The Windmill was renowned for its risque performances, combining nude burlesque dancers with comedy acts. Cryer started off with humble billing near the bottom of the playbill, but through perseverance and pluck, he gradually rose to become one of the Windmill's top comics. He learned how to grab the crowd's attention fast, deliver rapid-fire jokes, and wring every last laugh from the sparse audiences. Prolific comedy writing career. Barry Cryer's break into television comedy writing came through the landmark satirical series The Frost Report in 1966. Cryer stood out among the team of talented writers, which included future Monty Python members John Cleese and Graham Chapman. His ability to deliver topical, irreverent humor under tight deadlines impressed host David Frost. This launched a prolific career penning comedy for stage and screen. Cryer had a knack for stylistic mimicry, adapting his writing to suit the unique comedic voices of performers. He could conjure silly visual gags for Benny Hill or craft clever wordplay for Frankie Howerd with equal skill. In the 60s and 70s, Cryer wrote for major British comedians like Tommy Cooper, Dick Emery, Bob Hope, and Marty Feldman. He contributed specialty material to comedy albums and toured internationally as part of behind-the-scenes writing teams. He also flexed his creativity co-writing comedy films like The Great St. Trinian's Train Robbery. A major feather in Cryer's cap was writing for the legendary double-act Morecambe and Wise. Teaming up with John Junkin in the 70s, Cryer penned some of their most beloved sketches and holiday specials. Using clever wordplay and imperfect rhymes, he captured the endearing chemistry between the mismatched duo. Even as tastes evolved, the timeless humor of these Cryer-penned skits left audiences in stitches. Cryer's most enduring showcase came through the long-running BBC radio comedy program I'm Sorry I Haven't a Clue. He was one of the show's original cast members, starting in 1972, and he contributed right up until his death in 2022. His quick wit, silly characters, and ability to improvise made him a radio comedy icon. His playful banter with host Humphrey Littleton showcased Cryer's talent for spinning humor out of thin air. He also contributed writing and occasional guest appearances to classic sketch comedy series like The Two Ronnies. His jokes and sketches became beloved recurring segments, such as Ronnie Corbett's oversized chair monologues. Cryer had a keen grasp of each performer's strengths to craft material maximizing their talents. Even as tastes changed, Cryer rolled with the times. In the 90s, he wrote for up-and-coming alternative comedians like Vic Reeves and Bob Mortimer on programs like The Smell of Reeves and Mortimer. Cryer proved he still had his finger on the pulse of each new generation's comedic sensibilities. Approaching his 9th decade, Barry never lost passion for his craft. He channeled a lifetime of comedy knowledge into his memoir, You Won't Believe This, But. Performing career and public persona. Though best known as a writer, Barry maintained an active parallel career as a comedian and performer. He honed his abilities for rapid-fire joke-telling and crowd work during his grueling stint at the Windmill Theater. He learned how to grab the spotlight and wring every last laugh from even the most indifferent audiences. These skills served him well as the host of the popular ITV comedy show Joker's Wild, which aired from 1969 to 74. It featured teams of comedians competing to tell the funniest joke on a given topic. Cryer's lively and good-natured hosting kept the competitive banter flowing. He showed a knack for thinking on his feet with witty quips and segues. In the 70s, he formed his close comedic partnership with fellow writer John Junkin. The pair turned their real-life friendship into sitcom fodder with the sketch comedy program Hello, Cheeky. The upbeat radio show featured Cryer and Junkin trading quips, performing silly songs, and pranking unsuspecting members of the public. Barry also flexed his acting abilities with cameos in comedies like the Beatles' parody All You Need Is Cash and Kenny Everett's cult film Bloodbath at the House of Death. He often appeared as himself or absurdist characters in variety specials and sketch shows alongside his writer cohorts. On stage, he showcased his storytelling flair through popular touring shows like Barry Cryer, The First Farewell Tour, and An Evening with Barry Cryer. These one-man shows highlighted his gift for spinning amusing yarns about his encounters with showbiz legends. One final joke. In January 2022, Barry was hospitalized at Northwick Park Hospital as his health deteriorated. But even in his final days, Cryer's spirit of humor persevered. According to his family, he told a lighthearted joke to a nurse not long before passing away at age 86. The joke encapsulated Cryer's signature friendly, clean wit. It involved a couple debating whether a man on the street was the Archbishop of Canterbury. When the husband approaches to inquire, the alleged archbishop tells him to F off. The wife is aghast they can no longer confirm the man's identity. This simple, effective joke highlights the absurdity of the situation rather than demeaning anyone. The punchline stems from the ridiculous misunderstanding between the couple, not cruelty towards the characters. Barry Cryer's humor relied on finding shared laughs in the foibles of day-to-day life. Above all, Barry wanted his comedy to be inclusive and to bring joy. By telling one last gentle joke before passing, he reaffirmed his humanistic spirit. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite memory of Barry Cryer? Let us know in the comments section below.